This is an appoggiatura. It is a musical ornament and a very expressive one at that, and it can be found in many types of music. Its name derives from an Italian word meaning to lean, and that gives us a very good indication of what it does. Let's have a quick listen to a couple of bars from Mozart's Piano Sonata in G major. These two notes marked here are our appoggiaturas. So now let's have a look what it is that makes each of them an appoggiatura. An appoggiatura is a dissonant note. It makes a discord with at least one other note in the chord to which it's attached, or we could say to the chord in which it's leaning on. An appoggiatura is followed by the note a step above or below it. This note is the resolution and belongs to the chord. And finally, an appoggiatura is in a more strongly accented position, that is to say on a stronger beat than its resolution. This gives us the effect of a strong note followed by a weaker one. So the symbol for an appoggiatura is this small note with or without a slur connecting it to its resolution. And the rhythmic value of the appoggiatura, the small note, is disregarded. The full-size notes and rests make up a full bar of music without it. Now we know the criteria for an appoggiatura. Let's go back to that Mozart example. We'll slow it down a bit and we'll have a look and a listen to what is being played. Now that the music is written out with full-size notes as opposed to grace notes we saw earlier, we can see that the B note and the F sharp note are in fact meeting the criteria of an appoggiatura. Let's just look at this B note first. It is a dissonant note. This B is being played over a D major chord in its second inversion. Our D major chord is made of the notes D, F sharp and A. The B then is a non-chord tone. It is creating a dissonance, and particularly against the A note. We could say it is leaning against the A note, hence the term appoggiatura. We can also see that the appoggiatura of the B note is followed by a note that is either a step above or below it. In this case, it's followed by a note a step below it, this A note, which crucially does belong to our D major chord. This A note is our resolution. And finally, we can see that the B note, our appoggiatura, is on a stronger beat than its resolution, or I should say on a stronger part of the beat than its resolution. In the Mozart example, we saw how the appoggiaturas written like this with grace notes ended up being played like this. However, that's not the only way appoggiaturas are played, and herein lies a problem with the appoggiatura symbol. We don't actually know how long the appoggiatura should be. An appoggiatura could be written like this, or like this, and they could both end up playing this, or maybe this. Most likely because of this confusion, around the end of the 18th century, composers stopped writing out appoggiaturas with grace notes. They would still write lots of music with appoggiaturas, however now they would write them out with full-size notes, making it much easier for the player to know exactly what to play. Appoggiaturas are not only found in classical music. Let's have a listen to the intro into possibly the best stroke song, Someday. The main riff of the song has multiple appoggiaturas. Once again, we can see that the criteria for an appoggiatura is being met. So it doesn't matter whether we're in a modern rock song or we're in a classical sonata, we find appoggiaturas everywhere. So far, the examples of appoggiaturas that I've shown you have all been instrumental, but we can of course use them with a vocal line melody. In fact, when paired up with a really good lyric, they can become incredibly emotionally charged. Our appoggiatura and the subsequent resolution is made up of two notes. Now this makes it an obvious choice for a two-syllable word to be sung here, and Julian has chose the one Someday. It's kind of evoking these feelings of hope and longing, and it really brings out the power of the appoggiatura. And one final thing to note is that our appoggiatura can be a chromatic note. Remember, our appoggiatura is always a step above or below its resolution. And the step refers to the distance between two notes in a scale, such as between C and D. Our step could either be a whole step, say C to D, or a half step, say C sharp to D. This is the same Mozart sonata we saw earlier, however a bit further on in the piece, and we can see that we have a chromatic appoggiatura, and for the first time today as well, one that resolves upwards. Okay, now it's time for today's song. This is song 19 out of 100, and this song is called Told You So. I wish it were true, but I know it's false. So if that quote won't help me, how about that waltz? Didn't we enjoy a drink before addiction? I used to like sci-fi back when it was fiction. Took that ball from the china shop for a stroll through the hall of mirrors, even though you know I go. I told you so. An empty phrase learned by road. Pretty soon to know what I'm to do. I wish it were right, but I know that it is wrong. So if that phrase won't help me, how about that song? Didn't we enjoy a drink before addiction? I used to sci-fi back when it was fiction. Didn't we enjoy a drink before addiction? I used to like sci-fi. I used to. Now I know you're not supposed to say I told you so. I could go get myself a name for being gone, but you took that ball from the china shop for a stroll through the hall of mirrors, even though you know I go. I told you so. Well, there we have it, song 19 out of 100 done. And what did I learn from this song? That which key we choose does actually make a difference. Now we can obviously play a piece of music in any key, but it is going to affect the range of the notes and where the vocal range sits. This song is in A minor and C major, and after recording it, it really did seem that it was quite a low-pitched song, especially the verse. So it may have suited me better if I would have got a bit higher up, maybe something like G major. That seems to suit my voice much better. So that is one thing I've learned, that the key does matter. Now, obviously today we also spoke about appoggiaturas, and as I mentioned in the video, we can find them in all styles and genres of music. If you could think of any specific uses of an appoggiatura that you really like, please pop them down in the comments, because I'd really like to know what they are. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and please join me in the next video and the next song.